Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Where Is This Going? I'm your host, Hunter Miles, and this is Where Is This Going? A podcast about artists you may not know yet, but hopefully will soon grow to at least appreciate at the very end. If you're just joining us for the first time, thank you so much for joining us. If you're returning, welcome back. Here in the studio, in the stooge, shout out to Jackie, and they're producing. We have a very funny comedian, also a very talented drummer. She does other music stuff too. I'll let her tell you about it though. Please welcome Haleigh Potter to the podcast. We used to have some sound effects sometimes with like an applause, but
You do it. Thank you for having me.
There you go. Yeah. Of course. Thank you for coming out. Like I said, Haleigh Potter, comedian, drummer.
You have a bubble in your throat?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like it.
Fix it.
Comedian, drummer. She does some singing stuff too. She strums the guitar. But you can follow her on Instagram at
Haleigh Potter.
HALEIGH, spelled the whitest way you can. And
no.
Yep. And Potter spelled.
I reject that.
Like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Are you saying there's a whiter way to spell Haleigh?
HAYLEY. 2 Y's.
2 Y's is much.
White.
But EIGH is always. Like Lee spelled with a G is always white. Also, shout out to White Shoes and Black Shoes. Check out my Facebook post for more info or my Instagram story, but it will be expired by now. But shout out to Jacob Russell. We just did a set last night at Trixie's. This is the format of the show. Also, I'll let you know. I talk about how's your last set. So this is the next segment called How is Your Last Set? Sorry, I should have introduced it better, but that's on me, dog. So your last set, we can talk about music and comedy, but last night, if you want to talk about last night, or you can do, I don't know, what your set before that.
I don't know my set before that. Last night, yeah, Trixie's was fun. I like the bar.
Very loud.
Very loud. It's very, very talkative. There were quite a few attentive people as well, but I found like the last couple times that that the crowd has been like not very attentive or just like talkative during your set.
Mm-hmm.
The last couple times it's kind of been easier in a way to kind of just zone in or zone out and
just do the jokes.
Do my jokes.
Right.
Because of the noise.
Where you actually get to focus on what you're saying. Because
yeah.
You're like, well, I know no one's actually listening, so I can just make sure I get the joke out the way I want it, at least.
Yeah.
If I'm not worried about a reaction.
So last night, I was happy with my set, but I was like, damn.
I wish someone could have heard it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
There's a few people in the front bar that were into everybody, but
yeah, in like the front corner of the bar, some comedians and other patrons were actually paying attention.
Yeah,
which is cool because if you just find and focus on the people who are paying attention and reacting, you're like, all right, now at least I know where the audience is in the room.
Yeah, I want to do it again. It's a cool little little spot. They got a nice courtyard out there and whatnot. But
there used to be. I used to go out to Detroit like every other weekend, do like a Friday double dip, and sometimes I get it like monthly with a Tuesday double dip. But it is great to see just a bunch of different comedians out in Detroit as well. To network and whatnot, and just the more you're out there, the more people you're introduced to, and better connections are made. But
you get used to the same crowds or the same types of crowds for so long. Especially being in like Grand Rapids, or you feel kind of restricted in a way, like I gotta have so much new material.
Yeah, because you're going up in front of the same people.
Yeah, but when you do showcases, you want to do some like older material, so it's like I want to be able to practice that stuff without feeling like I'm just regurgitating old things. So new crowds and new comedians it's good, kind of reaffirming and whatnot.
Yeah, I think always new ears on your comedy just addresses new perspectives and stuff like that. You know what? The Red Bull is making me burp a lot. I'm realizing that it was probably a poor choice. This is my second one.
Make sure you do it this way every time.
At you?
Yeah.
Got it. My last set was also last night at Trixie's. I also emceed the Tune Up Tuesdays show at Detroit House of Comedy, where I will also be emceeing, just found out, the weekend of March 23rd through 25th. Do you have any shows you want to promote? I'll let you think about it.
April 4th, that's a Tuesday. Mark
Ridley's. Oh, you're doing the Detroit to LA competition?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. So that's April?
That's April 4th, yep.
April 4th?
Yep.
March 23rd through 25th, I'll be at the Detroit House of Comedy emceeing for the weekend with Ian Fidance. That'll be a fun time. I'm a big fan of Ian Fidance. Very funny guy. So get your tickets.
March 5.
March 25th.
No, me.
Oh,
March 5. Me, March 5 now.
All right, so this is how we promote dates. We battle.
Go
ahead now.
We're going furthest to soonest. So April 4 to March 25 to
March 5th.
March 5th will be the Sunday Night Funnies Women's Month showcase.
Nice. I did the black one. You're doing the women's one. That's cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I am black enough. You are woman enough.
Yeah, and next year we swap.
That was March 5th for you. February 17th, I will be at Decibels in Portage, Indiana. So if you're in Indiana and you're listening, please come on down. Portage, because I don't know a lot of people in Portage. Do you have one to battle back with?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, all right.
I'm going to be at Asanya's.
At Asanya's?
Yeah, at Asanya's brewery.
In Granville.
Yeah.
And every Thursday, you can find me at Parrots Lounge in Holland every Thursday night, 9:30. Free show. Yes, tonight you're at Turnstiles.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the drummies. Also, do you have any other music shows coming up besides tonight?
Sometime in May, but I can't pin that down right now. It's a MTV Unplugged style esque type of gig.
I like how you just led with MTV, and then you're like, you know, if you could turn it off right now.
If you could turn it, yeah, a little bit MTV, but less.
Yeah, well,
a lot less.
I would imagine so. Is it at the Listening Room or
Fulton Street Pub?
Oh, that's much different.
So just no.
No, I get it.
It's not that much different. You have the right attitude.
I love the Fulton Street Pub. I've been an advocate. But yeah, no, it's just different than what I was expecting. That's all.
That's fine too.
That's all,
dude.
That's
all, and that's fine.
You also have music that just came out. That's why I said let's talk about the drumming, but it's also just music in general.
Yeah.
Because under the name Pincer, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Just wanted to, yes, sir, Pincer. 2 tracks, 2 singles.
2 singles. Yep. The Former and Swim. Buddy Chris Coble. Shouts to Chris.
Chris Coble.
Soon to be a daddy.
Yeah, friend of the podcast. He's been on here a couple times. Got tattooed on the podcast as well.
Beautiful history there.
Now I'm going to have to try to Jackie timestamp this so I can put a link to it. It'll be up here in the corner, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. But he is featured on vocals and guitar on the track Swim.
You're just, the more comfortable you're getting, you're just getting further and further away from the mic. So he's featured on a couple tracks. He's a guitarist, very, very talented guitarist and vocalist and lyricist, and performer.
Performist. Friend. Great lazy tuber.
Lazy tuber?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like tubing lazily?
Lazy tubing.
Yeah, but I thought it could have been like another phrase for some kind of YouTube thing. a lazy tuber.
I was gonna list more things, but I'm done now.
All right. Well, yeah, he is also a devoted husband. I think
it's only been a year, so not even a year yet.
And again, a prospective father. He's soon to be a dad. So shout out to the Cobles on your arrival soon.
Little dumper.
That's what you call babies?
His baby.
His baby's a little dumper.
Yep.
I think you don't know what else that word is used for.
I do not. I most definitely do not.
I most definitely do not.
Don't
All right. So you've been drumming on stages for what, like 15 years, something like that?
Just over 15 years, yep. Since 10 years old, so almost 17 years.
Oh, yeah. Almost joining the 27 club. Fingers crossed. You grew up, I know your story, but this is also an interview.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to ask you when you got into drumming, how you got into drumming, what kind of family did you grow up in? I know you grew up here in West Michigan, also part of the Christian Reformed bubble of West Michigan.
Yes, I did not grow up Christian Reformed. Far from that. Yeah, I
also, likewise, I grew up in like Assembly of God.
Yeah, similar. And I got into drumming because we had this kit at my house, but my sister was too big for it. It was intended for her. So
she was too big for it, as in like in stature.
It was a little kid's kit, and
all right. So she was also probably intellectually too big for it, as well. If it's like you're saying, it's like it's for babies, basically. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. You can still make a baby kit sound really good.
No, you
can still shred it on a baby kit.
I agree. All I'm saying is she was too old for the kit.
She lost interest.
Yes.
Wasn't So I hopped on.
You took offense to that in a weird way.
Anyway, there's a drum kit involved, and somewhere down the line, I ended up on it. I outgrew that kit. A family friend of ours gave me their son's drum kit, who had just passed away serving in Iraq. So that like meant a whole lot to me, and I was like 10 years old at the time there.
So why? So you only started drumming because your sister got a drum kit?
Yeah, it was drumming was introduced to me at that time, and I like took, I had always like been like a pots and pans type of, kid, and
Hobson type.
Yeah, very much so. Big dude, 5 years old, he was my favorite.
I think he was only like 7, so he's not that much older.
Yeah, we go way back. That's what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying.
And he wrote it that long ago.
Always been into music. I was, growing up Pentecostal and stuff. The music is loud and fast, and the rhythm section is just so tight and
people
quick.
Get into it.
People get into it. But yeah, ever since as a toddler, I would just always stand behind the drum kit. So being gifted an actual kit, especially with the story behind it, just meant a lot to me as a 10-year-old. And even though I had some drumming experience before that, that's when I was like, yeah, I'm a drummer.
Did you start taking lessons, or just started teaching yourself how to? Because we know rhythm's not easy for the whites.
In sixth grade, and I had been drumming since I was 5, so I don't know how I forget how old you are in 6th grade, but
about 12.
Tried out for the band, 6th grade band, and I didn't make it.
For percussion?
Yes.
Because did you know piano?
No.
Was that part of it or no?
Yeah, I didn't grow up on any other instruments, just drums. But I failed the test, so I didn't get into it. And so my music teacher, shout out to Mr. Ashby, I'll never forget you.
Is he alive?
I have no idea. But my other favorite
Sorry for bringing it up.
My other favorite teacher is passed.
Okay, well that was unnecessary, but we can move on with Mr. Ashby. Mr. Ashby, whose fate is still
unknown.
Yeah, to be sealed.
TBD. No. No, he went to bat for me and was like, I've actually heard her drum. She should be a part of the band. And so I got into the band despite me failing the tempo test.
Oh, it's tempo test.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
so you that. I was assuming it was because you hadn't learned piano and those notes and things like that, because that was also a requirement for our percussion.
No, they didn't have us do any piano things. Not that I
because
remember.
like xylophone and marimba and stuff.
I guess we did some of that stuff. I forget exactly what the test entailed.
Well, so far you failed tempo.
Yeah, but I failed tempo. I mean, so far.
It seems like you're a little bit behind on the beat right now, Haleigh. What's going on?
Oh.
Snap. If I could, I'd make a better Crash reference. That is Crash, right? Ah, it is. Miles Teller. Anyways. Jennison, 6th grade? Yeah. Or was that...
Jennison, Rosewood Elementary.
Oh, you guys had an elementary part of 6th grade. This is different all over the country.
Yeah, so it was kindergarten through 6th grade, and then middle school was 7th and 8th grade, and then high school was 9th through senior year.
See, for most of... I say most. I don't know at all. This is just how I grew up and knew it to be.
Yeah, you don't know.
I don't know. But 1st through 5th grade in one building, and then 6th through 8th grade. And I think I saw this as truth just because both Zeeland schools did it. And I think like all the Holland area schools did it. So it's pretty much law at that point.
You guys love law.
Yep, we love the law. Throw those L's up. Anyways. I don't want... So you've been performing on stages.
Beautiful.
So, well, because yes, I'm trying to decide how I want to approach this. Because it's hard to interview someone you know a lot about already. So bear with me, please.
I'm bearing. Oh, wait.
Clip it. You started performing around 10, or that's when you started drumming and actually trying to take it seriously. When were you first on stage?
First on stage when I was about 10, yeah. At a real small little church in Jennison.
Okay, that was that a Reformed church or a Pentecostal?
That was apostolic.
Like apostles?
Very, very similar to Pentecostal. Very similar.
Okay. Did it have the skirts and stuff?
Yeah, but you could wear gauchos and lip gloss.
And lip smackers.
Oh my God, lip smackers, yeah.
Oh, I miss them. Not me personally. I didn't have lip smackers. Anyways, was it hard? So were you drumming in a skirt or gauchos?
I was drumming in a skirt. I feel like, I don't know, I probably wore gauchos sometimes.
And now, again, just for the listeners back home, can you describe gauchos?
Gauchos are stretchy pants that are very loose. They have 2 pant legs, but they're very loose loose, like...
They almost look like if your
they're not
legs...
jean material. They're like legging material, but they're very loose. So when you're just sitting there, it looks like a skirt.
Right. If you're standing with your legs together as well, yeah, it looks like you're wearing a skirt or
once
a dress.
You spread those legs, you can tell those are gauchos.
And
those are gauchos.
Them some thighs right there.
Those are...
Anyways.
Yeah, I was drumming at 10 years old with skirts.
Drumming in a church at 10, was that... Well, you were raised on Christian music, too. Yeah. So, was that your main influence as well?
I listened to secular music, too. I just couldn't listen to rap or scream.
Out of your own preference? You're like, it just gives me anxiety.
No. Out of my father's. No, I just couldn't listen to, like, screamo or rap. But, yeah. What was the question?
what music influenced you as a kid? Because I know you started drumming in a church, but
yeah,
was that the music that you were drawn to perform?
No. At home, I was like a Tooth and Nail, Solid State Records type of gal. So a lot of like Under Oath, Emery. Well, I guess that was screamo.
So you lied already at least once so far this episode, but we can continue. You can unearth more.
My dad didn't like Flyleaf for some reason, so maybe that's just why I'm thinking screamo. Anyway, yeah, I listen to a lot of like rock.
Christian rock is what you're...
And secular rock.
Okay, we'll name one.
Foo Fighters, and Nirvana, and I don't know. I listen to a lot of
Yeah, big Dave Grohl fan right here. Big Dave Grohl fan.
When I'm thinking of secular rock, you put me on the spot.
What you? You offered it.
Yeah.
Because I just keep saying, is Christian music what you were inspired by and what you wanted to perform? And you go, no, I listened to other stuff too. I won't name it, but I listened to other stuff.
What did I listen to? Well, now that I'm saying rock, I realize it wasn't so much. It was like
a lot of Dave Grohl.
I listened to like The Cure, Me Without You. I'm going all over the place.
But this is as a kid, like when you're drumming?
Yeah. There was like some gospel I listened to, like Israel Houghton or Fred Hammond or Marvin Sapp. And then
So yeah, a lot of Christian music.
Yeah.
Is that... I don't know why you refuted me on this, but I'll start again. Is that what you were inspired by and what you wanted to perform when it came to drumming? Or was
not Christian music specifically.
Okay.
I never found it attractive to put myself in like a box.
In a literal box on stage when it comes to churches.
Well, that sometimes is inevitable where you have to. Yeah. But yes, I never wanted to be like in the Christian music industry. I never wanted to do that.
Mm-hmm. So when you pictured your dream of drumming, church was just a stepping stone to start performing. Yeah,
it was what was available, and it blessed me to be a part of that too.
Haleigh, you got to give me more. No, I'm not saying on that specifically, but just in general.
Oh, okay. Yeah. More.
How many podcasts have you done before?
2.
With who?
There was one on my way down to South by Southwest at DZ Records in Hickory, Illinois. And then I was on Tom Walma's podcast. Wasting Creativity.
I still haven't done Tom Walma's podcast. That's more of a group. It's my own doing, so I've been invited. That's more of a group setting?
Yeah.
On Zoom or?
Yep, Zoom.
All right.
Well, it's not Zoom, but it's a similar format.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, look at you with the questions as an interviewer.
I
enjoyed it.
I'm saying expound on your answers. You're just like,
okay,
I did that.
I did, Tom. Yep, I did that podcast. You want me to go in about what it was?
No, just talk about that. It was
it was I've never done like an online podcast, so I was nervous about how the chemistry would go, and it was fine. It was a good time, and I would do it again, and I would recommend it to people to try it if you are a comedian or to listen to it if you're not.
There you go. And again, it's called Wasted Creativity.
Wasted Creativity. Unfold your arms. Thank you.
There's going to be some edits on this one. I can feel it. Love you, Jackie. You're putting in hard work. Anyways. Mm-hmm. So after church, your first gig at a church, what was your next career move?
I moved to Grand Rapids, like downtown, when I was 18 or 19.
So from 10 and
Okay, from
drumming
10.
I'm just saying, you just made a huge gap.
You said career move.
I'm talking about.
Okay, so I've done like some talent shows, a coffee shop, a few coffee shop gigs with my dad's friends.
That sounds creepy.
Enjoyable.
That made
One
it a little bit better.
Is another man's comfort.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes the comfortable person the creep.
Both are comfortable. Or both are creeped out.
What kind of music were you playing with your dad's friends?
We were playing like Heart of Gold or Fly on the Wall, Pink Floyd.
Okay.
Classical music, some country.
So you were playing classical music?
Classical rock.
Classic.
Some country.
Classic rock.
Yeah. Just
You realize those are two completely different things, right?
people like some Led Zeppelin and then some Heart of Gold and some.
No. I'm saying classical music and classic rock.
Yes. My bad. I misspoke.
And what'd you choose to play at the talent show? How old were you?
I was like 16. The first talent show we did a Flyleaf cover.
You were in a band then?
Yeah. It was just a couple friends. I think we did a Flyleaf cover or some like girl rock band cover. And then, because the lead singer had like leather pants and stuff. And then my second talent show, we did My Curse by Killswitch Engage.
Okay. The same band or
Different.
Cool. Did you perform at all with these
No,
with these people outside of the talent shows?
No, we never figured out a name. We just did the talent show, but we jammed together quite a bit. Yeah. They're both.
Here we go. All right. So, Haleigh,
Yes, sir.
you started drumming at 10 years old. First gigs in the churches. Doing gigs with your dad's friends, which sounds weird again. But it wasn't church music. So was that your first like foray into performing secular music? Was who your dad was comfortable with you performing secular music with?
I mean, they were still like church friends, but yeah, this is a coffee shop off of Chicago Drive in Hudsonville, next to that family fair. And it's not there anymore, and I'm forgetting the name of the coffee shop.
The family fair is definitely still there.
The family fair is there, but the coffee shop is not.
Family fairs are forever.
Forever. Yeah, we performed there regularly.
Oh, nice. You had like a residency?
Somewhat,
or were you there like monthly or?
Monthly.
Because you're doing covers, so no one's worried about you coming out with new music.
Correct.
Makes sense.
Correct.
So, later on, did you graduate high school?
Yep.
Go Jenison Pride.
Yep, Jenison
Go
Pride.
Wildcats.
Go Wildcats, green and white. I had to do a couple weeks of summer school. Ooh.
Nice. What year? Your senior year?
Senior year, yep, to get my diploma.
So they let you walk, but they're like, you're going to have to come back.
Correct. Yeah. That's because, well, I blamed it on. I was taken out of public school halfway through 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was homeschooled through 10th grade.
Does that have anything to do with the Pentecostal parents?
No.
Or? Okay.
No. So they homeschooled me, and then I went back to high school junior year. And so there was just some things. Of course, junior year is when you take a lot of the tests,
right?
Like important tests.
Just some things you were missing.
Yep. So I hadn't taken geometry or algebra 2, for example.
Math stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
Math's tough, especially when you got to teach it to your kids by yourself, dude.
Yeah, especially when they just give you the book and you teach it to yourself, too.
Exactly. And they're like, this is... Also, yeah, there's plenty of forms of homeschooling. your children.
There's like free schooling. There's there's homeschooling. Well, the cool thing about it was when I went back to high school, I didn't have to take gym class because my mom counted drumming as my gym.
Nice. That was your physical education. Those are your physical credits. That's dope. So that also allowed you a lot of time to drum then. And hone in.
Yeah, I was drumming for a few hours, 4 or 5 hours a day. And those were such like informative years of figuring out my own style and really becoming my own person as a drummer in my early teens, late teens. So just having that extra time to do what I want and
devote and find yourself in the passion.
Yep, dive into YouTube, drummersworld.com, Drumeo, different things like that.
Right. Yep. Right on. So from high school, you moved out to Grand Rapids, just straight from high school?
Straight from high school. So I was 18. I probably lived at home for just a little bit after that. And then I found a Craigslist ad and moved in.
Always safe.
Always safe. Moved in with 7 strangers. And it turned out to be a really good thing because one worked at the intersection. Another I still jam with 7 years later. He's who I have, Enrique almost. Shouts to Enrique.
Oh, yeah. Shouts out to Enrique. They'll be playing tonight at Turnstiles. Do you guys have a name you go under? You've performed under a name before.
Correct. His band is Neon Birdhouse.
Excuse
me. These monthly Wednesday gigs is called Slow Jams and Serenades. So we don't really have a band name for that. It's just us two jamming out.
You guys did the Little Space Market. You performed there as well with Off the Grids. Off the Grid had a bunch of vendors and stuff. There was food and stuff. You had a different name then, I think. I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember. That was a fun spot, though. That was a cool little spot.
Especially for you guys because they are. Check them out whenever you see Haleigh post about it or Enrique. Just real easy listening. Jazz, smooth jazz, blue, jazzy, soul, a little bit of funky, a little bit of funk.
We've had our friend Jaman come in and do some freestyling over it. We've had our friends John and Noah come in and do some like Daniel Caesar type music.
Shout out to Noah too, Noah Snyder. Shouts out.
Yep. So, yep.
Yeah. See him.
Usually
see him
it's
if you
just
can.
Enrique and I, but we like to have some friends come along.
So you do it once a month?
Once a month.
On Wednesdays at Turnstiles.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Is it like the second Wednesday of the month or?
I don't think there's a pattern. I'll have to watch for it. I didn't pay attention.
Not only will you watch for it, you watch for it as well.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to mention, this Saturday I will be at, since I plugged your monthly one, I got to plug back. This Saturday I will be at Outlook Barbershop doing comedy on the floor there. It's a great, also, shout out to Outlook Barbershop and Ryan Martinez. Very talented barber, hairdresser. I'm going to be having him on the podcast because he's also a great entrepreneur, business owner, small business owner. Support your small businesses. And he's been so gracious to the comedians. The last show, they do a monthly showcase there, hosted by Abby Lemke. The last show, Ryan got up to try some comedy in the comfort of his own barbershop, which I think is cool. But he's always supporting the comedy shows around town. He's a frequent regular of the River City Saloon comedy nights. Shout out to Comedy Night at River City Saloon. That is also happening every Wednesday. And you have time to catch part of the show and see you guys perform too.
Yeah, we're on for a few hours, 8 to 11. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can, and the shows at River City start at 9, so you can start and end with Turnstiles and some easy listening.
Yep.
Funkadelic. Well, all right. I was trying to.
You're not catching me in a funkadelic group.
Well, all right. So we have covered a bunch of different genres that you have played, and you moved to Grand Rapids. You start jamming. You eventually start joining bands that you can actually name.
Ooh, yes.
That people in the band can agree on a name, and you're like, we should start performing, right? Other
Correct.
than just talent shows.
Yeah. So I moved to Grand Rapids.
Did you win any of those talent shows, by the way?
Yeah, I won the. I have a terrible memory. I for sure won the
Flyleaf?
Hudsonville one. No, I for sure won the kill switch engage one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, it was a Hudsonville.
That one was at Hudsonville because my buddies went to Hudsonville school.
Were you homeschooled at that time?
Maybe, I think so. Yeah.
That would make sense.
I was.
Jackie, did you ever bring in a kid from a different school to do your talent show? Oh, yeah, that's right. Shout out to Nicholas Richardson, who still has not come to a single one of my comedy shows in Lansing.
Yikes.
Thanks, Scooter. But, no, I'm kidding. I love you, Nick. Richard Nixon.
Tricky Dick Nick.
But, yeah, shout out to Nick Richardson. That is one of the first times I saw Jackie perform was at a talent show. It wasn't the first. It was one of the first times. Shout out to the Overheaters and Zeeland East High School. But yeah, no, that for me that'd feel weird, but also freeing to perform for a school that I wasn't attached to. Like, oh, I don't have to. That takes the nerves out of it for me.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Because you're like, these aren't my peers. I don't give a shit what they think.
Correct. Okay, yeah, that definitely does help. And it's just I love new environments and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And playing. We were just talking about this too today or last night. Playing in front of different crowds, and just how those eyes are necessary. Those perspectives are necessary. To just become a well-rounded
way scarier
performer.
As a comedian playing to different crowds.
Oh yeah, going into new places.
Yeah.
So we'll get to the comedy in just a second. First, your first bands.
Stubborn Strays. Yep, that was my first band. Chris, Alex, and Blake.
Yeah. I think Chris and Alex have both been on the pod. What were you guys? What type of music were you playing then? Because you've basically run the gambit. Between what you're playing now, which is like jazz, soul, funky, and the church music that you were playing, and like the kill switch engage and all. So that's a pretty widespread. What were you playing when you finally got to make your own music?
Stubborn Strays was folk punk. We did a lot of just folk punk music, I suppose. Before I had been in the band,
how could you describe folk punk?
I would describe it as we had a banjo and acoustic guitar, and the lyrics were, kind of twangy, and the sound was kind of twangy.
So it's almost like Mumford and Sons meets Blink 182.
No.
No. All
no,
right.
because it wasn't like, pop. It was like, oh, I'm so terrible at
references.
At references and comparing stuff. But it was just we just added a fast, hard, rock twist to some rock.
Oh, so like the Lumineers.
Sort of, yes. Yeah. Jeff Rosenstock. Do you know Jeff Rosenstock? That was sort of our thing.
I was just trying to think of another band with a banjo.
Yeah, no. It was more like Jeff Rosenstock. Yeah.
And so your first band.
I'm so bad at references. It was way more than that.
There's definitely other punk bands that we were inspired by.
Yeah.
So your first band, you're like what, 20 or 18, 19?
19, 20. I guess you could say like modern baseball, esque. I'm gonna keep referencing as I think of it.
Searching for more references.
Yeah.
And you guys are playing mostly like Grand Rapids local shows?
Yeah, we played just bars around here, so like
Tip Top.
Yep, Tip Top, Pyramid Scheme. There was a place called The Warehouse that we played at. Our buddy Colin owns that. Real cool spot. That was like our home.
Was it an actual warehouse?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
There's a garage and an upstairs that had like a half ramp, and one of the rooms was just half ramp. The basement was all, covered in art and graffiti and stuff. So it was just a really cool atmosphere. An
artist's paradise.
Yep. Lots of house shows, lots of basement shows.
Was very common parties in the punk scene.
Yeah. Yep.
I know Kalamazoo also has a pretty heavy punk scene as well.
Yeah, we played Papa Pete's there, the Mill House, couple house shows there as well.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And was performing your own, performing your own music. That basically is what I'm trying to say. Mm-hmm. Performing your own original music, although you're a member of a group, mm-hmm. but performing your own original music, was that a different feeling when it comes to fulfillment?
For sure. It felt real, rather than being, background noise in a coffee shop, which growing up in the church and having those experiences of being in a structured group with more of a production performance side of things, right, and a professional side of things.
And not only professional, but also spiritual. You just get, there's all sorts of benefits with growing up in the church and having the opportunity of playing music. And not to mention like learning, how to play with the click track in ears, also controlling the tracks. So there's just things, stage performance, how to carry yourself, things like that I was taught at a very young age, which also I feel like came in handy with comedy, feeling comfortable on stage. Oh yeah, and the biggest thing I think when it comes to breaking down that like wall or barrier of stage fright, or just being anxious with people looking at you, mm-hmm. is exposure. It's just a habit, a lot. Whether you like it or not, or whatever context.
Yeah.
It makes you feel safe.
Yeah, very thankful for that.
Oh, yeah. And then, so Stubborn Strays, 19. How long did you guys play for?
They were a band before I came along.
And then you just joined in. You hopped on in.
And then I joined in. That's a funny story how I even met all those guys. I had a couple hand drums that were stolen from an ex, mm-hmm. and they lived with my ex's new girl, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Long story short, those drums ended up at their house.
Right.
So I get a hold of the people at the house, and I'm like, hey, I want no drama, but one of those drums I built with my dad. Mm-hmm. The other one, that's mine.
Right.
I don't want anything.
The context doesn't matter, but those are my drums.
That's my property. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to come by. I don't want any drama.
I don't want any fruff, all right?
Don't want any smoke. Just want my drums. So, yeah, I picked them up, and then Alex Yeomans was the first one that I talked to. He, I don't know if he asked me to play it or if we just started getting to talking.
Oh, yeah, these are yours? Prove it.
Oh, yeah, do a little tap.
Play a little something.
Kick it. DJ in the back.
He turned into Bernie Mac for some reason. Yeah. Kick it. Anyways. So you and Alex start vibing.
Yep, we start vibing. He's like, I actually have a band, and so we start listening to the band, and then the rest is history. From then on, I just started hanging out with these guys every day. They're my brothers.
And they're still really cool.
Yeah, we're still close. Two out of four have three out of four have survived. Yes. So Blake, Chris, and Alex Chris, Alex, and I. It doesn't even.
Anyways,
it doesn't even matter.
So from Stubborn Strays, how long were you in that band?
I was in that band for 2 years, 2.5 years.
All right. So you're like 22, 23, 22?
I'm about 22 at this point. And then I joined Things Fizzle Out with Stubborn Strays. We did a lot of touring, did a lot of shows. But then I joined Haleigh Meltzer. That's with Steven.
Yeah, also been on the podcast. Yeah. Shout out Steven. I was trying to think of his handle. Is it?
It's just Steven Meltzer.
Is it Breakfast Panda Bad Boy? Breakfast Bad Boy. There's a panda in there.
There's a panda and something about breakfast or brekkie.
Anyways, look up Steven Meltzer, and also Haleigh Meltzer is making a comeback. So glad you brought it up.
Yep. Yep.
So you started playing with Steve and
it's just Steve and I.
It was just Steve and you?
Just Steve and I, yep. So we played quite a few gigs, some festivals, some just like local festivals. We did some touring just in the tri-state area.
What's our tri-state area?
Ohio, Illinois, Indiana. That's 4.
Yeah. That's why I thought you were going to go like Indiana, Illinois, and Michigan. But once you add it in Ohio.
Yes. I forgot we did some Cleveland or Cincinnati shows.
Oh, okay. I got you. I wasn't trying to grill you.
No, that's okay. I don't feel grilled.
All right, good. So, and that's a bigger touring than you were doing with Stubborn Strays?
No, it was about the same. This is, bars and...
Were you traveling more places, I guess?
We were traveling probably the same. Because
Okay.
it was like 4 or 5 years straight. It was like 4 or 5 years straight of just, gigs 3 to 5 times a week.
Nice.
Whether they be basement shows or, just bar shows.
But making money making a little bit of money on the road.
Enough to get to the next city.
Exactly. That's all that matters, especially in your early 20s, trying to do whatever that passion is.
Yep.
You're like, as long as I can make enough money to sustain this passion, that's all that matters.
To maybe make some merch and
right.
And whatnot.
And then we'll try to make a profit on merch. That's the next step in that goal, which I'm still working on. But okay, from Haleigh Meltzer, we then joined Abner, or
yeah, and then I joined, and then I.
What were you and Steve playing?
Steve and I is like singer-songwriter Americana type music.
Okay.
Yep, and then Abner I joined. Abner was somebody from a band called Shoebox, which was a Midwest punk band, and then somebody else from my first band, Stubborn Strays. So us 3 got together, and we were more of a pop punk, Midwest punk type of group. I was with them for about a year. We did a show at the Pyramid Scheme and some other bars.
Yeah, Fulton Street Pub.
Yep.
That's when I met you, is when you were in Abner. And then in Abner for a year. Played a few festivals. You played Played
we did the Easttown Street Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when did you ever go to South by Southwest?
That was so I was playing a show with Haleigh Meltzer, a basement show. The sound tech that night was Marley Ferguson of Fade, now goes by Mars Fade. And she was in...
put herself up front now.
Yeah. She does she's more like dance pop music.
Okay.
And she...
Like Sia. No. Doesn't matter. We can keep going.
Like Men I Trust, or... I don't know.
Lana Del Rey? No.
Sure. Yeah. She's more dancey. Anyway.
Willow?
No.
All right.
Nope. She was playing the Jammies, and she was also going down to South by Southwest.
Kesha?
No.
All right.
No.
So she was playing the Jammies, which is WICE. What is WICE?
It's a local radio station.
Mm-hmm.
They play local music and jazz.
And
and some cool music.
they play local music and also some jazz.
They're a great station. No, I got to do it. Jammies is like a yearly award show.
Yeah, like a local music awards show.
So the top, nice.
What is that? I guess what is their local scene? So like, where are they? What's the pool that they're pulling from?
A lot of singer-songwriter, Americana, rock.
Regionally, I mean, because like you said, they promote local stuff.
Oh, so, you mean like where do they pull from?
Yeah, like where are these bands from? Okay.
Yeah, I think all of Michigan, maybe West Michigan.
Yeah. I guess that's what. Do you know what WICE stands for? Or is it just one of those radio things where they like WSNX? No one?
I don't know if it stands for anything.
Anyways, so you played the jammies. Did she play the jammies or you played the jammies? She played the jammies. So.
She was playing jammies and needed a drummer and asked me to drum for her at the jammies. And also she was playing South by Southwest in 2018 and needed me and wanted me as a drummer then too. So I toured with her down to South by Southwest and back up. So we hit a few gigs on the way down and up. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then South by Southwest, was that a good experience?
That was awesome.
In Austin, seeing a lot of different bands too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Or just artists in general.
Yeah, that was a cool experience. I didn't get my Jansport backpack that they give to the artists, but that was like my first like real taste of my dream, I suppose. Just having promoters, give them, I don't know, just the...
Like, was it the touring aspect, or was it the networking and stuff like that?
It was the networking, because I had toured and whatnot and done similar venues that Fade and I did. But as for like South by Southwest, the context of it just added a whole nother level. And, like having to show face. Right. And just the social aspect of like...
It brings out that professionalism too.
Yeah,
again.
She's on the same... I'm meeting the record label that Modest Mouse started out on because she's on this record label. So like just that feeling of like I'm meeting with people. Like real...
being brought around success, basically.
Being brought around, yeah.
Or people of prominence.
Yes. Yeah.
So Abner was the last like band you were in.
Correct.
Except for now, kind of.
Ooh, yeah.
So what is Pincer?
Pincer is Chris Cobles and my project. I've written music for a long time and I haven't put any of it out, and I know that I would hate myself if I did not. So because
you've been primarily, if not wholly, behind the kit the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, with career. Stubborn Strays, I helped write some songs. I've definitely, there's one song called Vines. That's my original that Stubborn Strays did. But I just want something to put out my own music. With
really your stamp on it.
With my stamp on it. So Chris and I started Pincer last year. And I just put 2 singles out, The Former and Swim.
Available on Spotify, or Apple, or no?
Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all that.
All that. And so, not only in your musical career or musical life, did you try to step out more into the spotlight, like you brought up earlier, and like we talked about at the beginning of the show with our last set? You also started comedy. So not only getting out from behind the kit, but grabbing the mic as well, and dropping the music part, which some people see as a safety net. When it comes to performing.
Definitely, because it's an extension of yourself. I'm hiding behind shells and symbols, and it's not my voice, it's not my actual thoughts, it's just my thoughts translated onto something else. But yeah, comedy is a different beast. Right.
When you started comedy about a year ago, and now not only like does true original thought come out, like, not to say that that's not what obviously music writing is, but it's true original thought with no beat or with no backing, but also not knowing if people are going to agree or like it. Because with music, you wait until the end of the song for people to clap. That's a good 3 minutes for you to be like, they might really be digging it. That's 3 minutes
to fool yourself
of who knows, man. No, by the end of the song, I think they were really liking it.
Yeah.
With jokes, it's like 5 seconds of like,
you can tell when they're not into it. And you're like, I have to finish.
Yeah, the longest you'll get is like 5 seconds of questioning. Are they with me?
At least with music, you can enjoy yourself with your other bandmates when you know that there's not a crowd at all, or they're not into.
Right.
I played pizza joints, and then you have a punk band of 3 greasy skids coming in. It's like nobody wants to listen to this.
Nobody wants us here.
This 12 top of elderly people celebrating this guy's 70th birthday does not want to hear us sing about smashing beer cans on our face in this pizza shop.
But we're gonna have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Are you saying that's basically the?
Yeah.
So, with stand-up comedy, it's much more alone. So you are on your own up there, but also you still have the comedy puts you through. I won't say a war-like experience because I've never been to war, but it provides trauma bonding when you go up in just awful rooms, which I would imagine like touring or doing music shows and also like dead bars also provides a little bit of a trauma bond. But when you have like a group of comedians that all came from around the state to come to this one bar with 3 people
and
in it.
It's not good, yeah.
Yeah, that's you share that bond.
That is an after the fact. Even before you share that bond with the comedians.
Yeah.
So that does help for sure. But if you're a new face and you don't know the other comedians and they don't know your act, sometimes it's like
But also, so yeah, and that's for like open mics more. Is that what you're saying? For like not necessarily paid shows or just like really like desolate open mics where like this is a brand new mic and
just did one Sunday that was brand new. There were 3 audience members.
Exactly, and everyone on that lineup was like, yeah, we'll be remembering this for at least a week, and all the people who were here with us, everyone who experienced
Tell
it
your
with
friends.
us. So you started comedy last January, was it?
January
2nd of 2022, and what inspired you to, I guess, make that move into comedy? And not like a move, I guess, but just also another step.
Yeah. Well,
whatever.
I just been around the scene for a few years because, thanks to you. And then
damn it is my fault.
I just found it something else to conquer.
For those who don't know, Haleigh and I dated, and she thinks she won the relationship, I think.
Absolutely. This is my podcast.
Also, come back next week where Haleigh will be hosting.
Yeah.
I guess I'm out of job.
No, just being around you and becoming like genuine friends with some of the comedians. Shout out to Joe and Devron. And then
Friends of the pod.
Just being around, because I went to a lot of gigs. I was like, that girlfriend sort of thing. But I was going to a lot of gigs, and because I don't know, I've always loved stand up.
Right.
I've always enjoyed it.
And early on, you were enjoying probably Brian Regan. Just coming from your Christian background, this is why I'm judging a lot, because you were.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know Brian Regan?
I know who Tim Hawkins is.
All right, Tim Hawkins. So it's specifically Christian comedy then?
No, I listen to like Robin Williams, Louis C.K. I mean, I am my own person.
I mean, but I'm saying in the home as a kid.
Yeah.
When it came to because your music,
so in the home as a kid, it was a lot of YouTube shorts. It was a lot of our family's just.
Your family still does that too.
We watch YouTube.
It's kind of like what Jackie and I do here too, which is just Vine compilations or like failed TV stuff.
If there was Vine in 2005 and 6, growing up as a young tight guy, we would be watching that as a family too. But and then I lived with a comedian, and they convinced me, and like, I don't know, I've just been around comedians for a while
Right.
and started writing some bits.
So I
just finally felt comfortable to try it.
Oh yeah. And then did that have anything also to do with, like, I know you were also making music as well. Mm-hmm. Not really publishing a ton, but you were starting like the pincer projects, mm-hmm. like long before they ever, whatever. Do you think that is at all connected? Like you stepping out from behind the kit a bit, and you starting stand up, so like a different craft as well, where it is much more a spotlight. Mm. Do you think those are at all connected?
I'm not sure. I think I've been trying to figure that out. Like, I don't know. I know what I want within music, and I know, like, the purpose within my passion of music. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how comedy fits into that.
Right.
I don't know my goal with comedy is just to see how far I can take it. Mm-hmm. Music is my first love.
Right.
I see comedy as, a skill set that could be learned if there's, speaking or things like that in my future.
Other types of industry stuff or even religious stuff. Mm-hmm. Because you're still playing music, not just with Chris, with Pincer. But
Enrique,
and Enrique, and whatever name you choose to go by. Mm-hmm. What is it? Sultry?
It's slow jams and serenades. Serenades and slow jams.
Well, add sultry in that.
Sensual, sultry, serenades and slow jams.
But you're also playing, you've been playing more gospel music or hip hop. Well, I'll let you explain it, I guess.
Yeah, I play for, so I played for church ever since 10 years old, and then moving to Grand Rapids, stopped going to church and whatnot, stopped playing for churches. And then just within the past couple years, I started playing again. So now I play at 2 churches downtown. One is more of a gospel, contemporary feel, and then the other is, hip-hop, R&B.
Mm-hmm. Are they both black churches? Sorry.
It's very, both are really diverse. Yeah. There's, the one church is a City Life. She's female pastor, nice. Female white pastor. That's right by Heartside, so there's a lot of homeless folk from Mel Trotter and whatnot that we get unhoused, yes. That I get to chat with and drink coffee with. And
minister to.
Just talk with. Yeah. Yeah, I'd never want to make anybody feel like a project, like I'm ministering.
No, but there's ministry in fellowship.
100%. Yeah. And it blesses me too. So it's like a ministry for both of us. I don't know, just being in relations with people in general bless both parties. But so in that aspect, that's a unique church that I think a lot of Western, Genesis, the bubbles communities, they don't see that.
The Christian Reformed bubble that we live in, or that we grew up in, rather.
Yeah.
Because it dissipates a bit when you get to Grand Rapids because, excuse me, I drank more Red Bull. Mm-hmm. Just because there is more diversity in that bigger metro area as well.
Yeah.
So City Life and Edge, which is both different churches definitely than you grew up in. Or
they're both similar to the churches that I grew up in. I grew up in mostly it was Hispanic white congregation down off of Old Chicago Drive in Granville.
It gets out there.
Yeah, down by Potter's house. Yeah. So that's what I grew up in. Okay. So going from that to the bubble of Jenison and Hudsonville and being within that church culture for a long time where it's...
And you were also playing music at those churches as well.
Yes, yeah. And then finally coming back to churches where there's more freedom, there's more diversity.
That is true. It's a lot more lively.
It's loud. It's not cookie cutter,
Right.
So... Yeah, it feels refreshing.
Good.
To be around real people,
Real people, and especially as an adult who, like myself, I've had many different views, and because of my experiences, I've had many different views of the church in general, and just like the concept of the church. So as an adult, to find a comfort still in the diversity, because those churches aren't the same, but you found comfort between the two as well.
Yeah, and it just is comfort between the two, and the familiarity of the two from my childhood.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely it connects and helps, rather than it connecting to like a bad part of.
Correct.
Like your spiritual life.
Yes.
Or spiritual past.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about that or no?
We can't. Yeah.
We don't have to. Let's talk more about comedy.
Whatever questions you've got, I'll answer.
Well, I know you were part of not a mega church, but
it was a larger church. I wouldn't say it was a mega church.
But it did get some notoriety.
It did get some notoriety. Ooh.
Spicy.
Shout out to Gary Peterson.
Gary Peterson.
I want to be careful.
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say.
Talk out of turn.
You know what? Let's just drop it.
There is a church split. Yeah.
There was just what's it called? Sowing. Not contempt.
Divisiveness?
Sure.
Dividing? Divisiveness?
Sowing division?
Sowing division?
There we go. There was some division sowed for speaking biblically. Mm-hmm. And also, I think Jennison's been pretty much covered as of recent as just a pretty racially insensitive, at the very least, place when it comes to their high school.
Sheltered.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. The Jennison High School made the news a couple weeks ago, or a month or so ago, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
With the basketball game in their student section, doing monkey stuff. And, when you don't have many black players on your team, I understand getting upset when it comes to any sport, but especially basketball. Mm-hmm. It's upsetting when you don't have any blacks, but ship them in or something. No. So
calling Kentwood right now.
We're calling East Kentwood for more blacks, please. We're proposing a trade. We'll send you our 3 Asian foreign exchange students.
Yeah.
I don't know why they were. I go to high schools all the time now too, and it's just like the foreign exchange students never seem comfortable here. I don't think we have to do this to them.
I don't know if I blame them. They did it. They sign up for that, don't they?
I know, probably. Or what if they just got elected? They never had a choice.
Yeah, I don't think they're over here against their will.
It's much less.
Living with the host family, going on vacations.
Yeah, that's much less an exchange than more of a trafficking, I think, if they were.
Jeez.
All right, we'll move forward. So now
it's a consensual trafficking.
Consensual, barely. What I'm proposing that it wasn't. Not the vacationing part. I'm talking about the if they got sent here to America against their will.
Maybe some of them did as punishment.
Like detention, like extended detention.
You're just getting into trouble here, so you're going to America.
To not get in trouble. Anyways.
I don't know.
I like to see America as punishment for Germans.
Sure is.
Shout out
most people.
Shout out to Tio, Geersburg. I don't know if I said it right.
I was just gonna say that again.
Say it again. Right now you're doing comedy. We talked about some of your comedy dates coming out. How are you juggling well the music and comedy? Because with the singles coming out, do you plan on trying to perform with Pincer?
Absolutely. Yep. That's a goal of mine to do that by fall.
Mm-hmm.
The tough thing, believe it or not, about writing your own music and being like the front person of your band is just that now I have to organize my music in such a way that I can present it to other people to play it how I would like them to, and then also directing them in like their own freedom and whatnot.
Just play covers.
Go back to my Pink Floyd days.
You can fill out a set. You're like, I'm gonna sprinkle a couple originals in. It's literally just the two.
Ooh.
And then you play the rest or just covers.
Present them as covers or as my own?
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Yes.
No, that's awesome. So I understand that's definitely a new role to juggle, because also you're in charge of the music production when it comes to like making the music, making the songs,
and then making the set list. How do I want to do transitions, and then booking stuff,
right,
and scheduling stuff.
But that helps you a lot when it comes to comedy as well, if you choose to pursue that in the same way, because as a comedian, you're completely self-reliant.
You're fighting for yourself, yeah. And so I feel comfortable emailing bookers. I know the etiquette. I know,
right.
You know, it's okay if you're told no or you're not answered. It's not something to be upset over or like offended over. You just keep trying. So I know
it's nothing personal.
It's not like
people are busy.
People are like new comedians or like new musicians are like, I've been trying to get into that venue, and they get, you know, that just is kind of the name of the game.
Right.
The hustle is sort of attractive to me now because I went down, cut my hours at work. So now I'm having to, you know, I'm relying more on paid gigs,
right,
and whatnot. So,
but which is, it can be motivating.
It is motivating
because I did it for a bit as well.
Yeah, I find it's easier to be productive when your bills rely on it. So
like, you got to get out there, kid.
You have to.
Yeah. And I think it goes. I think you find more from it as well. I think it's more fulfilling too. When you do there was a month that I like paid all my bills basically just with comedy, and
it's like I did that. I was able.
You're like, this is all I've been wanting to do ever, was just be self-sustainable, doing what I love. Yeah. And if my passion can sustain me 1 month, I'll do it again at some point. But like, it just motivates you to be like, this can be possible.
Yep.
You know. So yeah, do you have any goals for your future besides, I guess, maybe that, but do you have any goals for your future in either music or comedy? I guess we'll go short-term goals. What are you hoping to do besides perform live with Pincer? What are you hoping to do by the end of this year or moving into next year?
By the end of this year, man, yeah, I want to do a couple shows with Pincer. I want to perform as Pincer for sure. I think honestly, more importantly, I want to just feel more. So I feel like my passion within, the purpose within my passion of music and drumming I think like the past year or so has been like younger girls, middle school, high school age girls.
They are your purpose, not your passion.
Correct.
All right.
Correct.
Just want to make sure.
The passion is music. Well, no, I have a passion for girls, 100%. So I want to. There's just been, you know, some opportunities handed to me at different camps and conferences that I've played at, where girls, for example, this high schooler basketball student. I said that weird. She saw me drum at this one camp that she was at, this sports camp that she was at, and she just felt like she just told me that I inspired her and whatnot, and she's always wanted to do, you know, WNBA, and so I've had a couple experiences like that, having female drum students that are 10, 12 years old, and just seeing they're doing something against the grain.
Right. Because there's not a plethora or an overabundance of female drummers. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
By going against the grain? Or?
Right. It's not, I mean, obviously with like social media, there's a ton of them out there. It's so cool to see. But yeah, from day to day, you don't normally see like a girl drummer, or, you know, just or you just don't see a lot of girls with confidence, and that's really what I want within music. So
that's what you're trying to affect. Like,
yeah.
The change you're trying to affect.
So this year I just want more. I don't have a specific goal. I've gotten that direction of this, like, girls.
Right.
And so this year I want to see more of that unfold, I suppose.
Yeah. Affecting more change.
Yep.
And seeing what you can do within that purpose.
Yep. So that sports camp that basketball player was at, I'll be doing that camp again, and then there's another conference that
Are those in the summer?
Yep, summer.
Nice.
Yep. So definitely music will be picking up in the summer.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Too much Red Bull, dude. I keep burping. Again, you can follow Haleigh on Instagram at Haleigh Potter, Haleigh Haleigh. You are on Twitter.
Yes.
Would you like to be followed on Twitter?
Yeah. That is Lava Lamps, the letter R, hot.
Lava Lamps are hot. Very funny tweets, I believe.
Thank you.
A good follow. It's worth the follow. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I didn't even say any of my handles up top. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @the_100miles, and on TikTok and Facebook, Hunter Miles Comedy. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you have, and watching if you are, make sure you follow the podcast on Instagram at Where Is This Going Pod, at Twitter, Where Is This Go Po, Where Is This Going Podcast on Facebook. And I'm going to be trying to keep up with the posting on there. I'm sorry about it. Thank you guys. See ya.